Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Cowboy Republic of Plumstead. This should be episode 18, and if you could please leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel, it would make me very happy, more than you would ever imagine. In the last episode, we had a couple little tiny wars, and one major thing is we annexed our vassal of the House of Reflection. One of the things I want to do is accept Horizon Elves, because they need to be accepted. And we ended up with a couple little stacks from them that I don't really need. Where's this one? Yeah, get out of here. And then this one, we're gonna split up and have those be patrolling stacks. We lowered autonomy everywhere. We have a couple more seats to hand out. Oh, wow, we have a lot. This province already has one. This province gets one because it's good development. You get one for the same reasons. Do you not have one? I believe there's a map mode for this. Okay, you guys all have one. All the proper spots have one. Good. You have one, and I believe... Okay, let's see. There's a Damester province here. Let's give it to the Damester guy. Oh, he already has one. What about this one? That's not mine. Well, I guess we'll give it to the wine provinces. Sure, give it to the wine provinces. That's a fun way to do that. The water, all of the cliff provinces get them, and that looks like that's all we need. Okay, so we start with riding north. We have taken the dam Adbravdovi, and the Raggedy Knights have been made ready for war. It is now time to expand our control northward over the Epednar Expanse. We must take control over Paihubi and the Epednan River running through it. Not only will it give us control over lands rich in minerals and pastures, we will also gain access to the supposed remains of Manian, the city of fabled Paihubi Valley civilization, or Epedyanix. Cool. An event. Domfanyan. Once there stood a city graciously upon a river of mountain water, overlooking fields of green with a dome of gold. Once. This is a small excerpt of an old Yinnick scroll which a couple of students from the University of the Dames studied for their classes on the history of the Yinnick calamities. They tried to find out where this once great city stood, and by using other dusty scrolls and comparing descriptions of the earth, they were able to triangulate the location of the fabled city, or at least what was left of it. And with their expedition greenlit, they set out to find the fabled Proto-Sarda city, and after a long ride, they arrived in the sleepy town of Paihubi. Baffled, one of the students said, "Really? This is where Domfanyan is supposed to be? This place cannot even be called a junkyard, so how can this be what's left?" The student standing in the expedition snarked, "You will fit in perfectly then. No, come on. It's an abandoned city. If there were still a bustling metropolis, it would not have disappeared from the memories or records." After the camp was set up and equipment unloaded from the wagons, then work could begin in earnest. But where to begin? They couldn't just start digging randomly, so to make the work easier, they took samples from the soil and compared it to few agricultural records they had from the Proto-Sarda. And by employing this technique, they did eventually find a strange rock, one too square to have been natural in origin. Wait, this ain't no rock, this is carved. We have to dig it out, quick, get your spades. After digging for almost 4 days, they did uncover something remarkable, an old bell tower, with carvings resembling those of the Proto-Sarda. The group was ecstatic. They had done what nobody could have dreamed of. They had found the lost city of Domfarnian. Later, all the students of the excavation group would become teachers at the University of the Dame, with the group leader, Otto Reifield, having the archaeology department building named after him. This discovery and the technique of soil sampling would become a standard part of Elantiri archaeology. As compared to records, the soil would never lie. Very cool. I believe that's going to be here. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. Okay. The next mission is a very Wild West. Imagine a land where even if you ride north for weeks, you may not encounter a single soul. Imagine a land where the grass forms an unending sea upon which steeds can roam endlessly. Imagine a land where most places have never been visited by ruin-born or human, a wild expanse on the western side of the Inn. We must and shall take our claim on this area, so our Epednar brethren can roam and thrive freely here, without the intervention or the persecution of other states or races. This vast expanse shall be a haven of freedom for the mounted Ruinborn, and will create a buffer between our heartlands and any lord who holds ill intentions toward us. The west is wild, but tamed shall it be. Very cool. So we got another one of these. Mara Luar. Along a dusty road overlooking the eastern part of a town stood a small set of tombstones, both large and small. Small number, large and small stones. Got it. These have, according to the native locals, been here since time immemorial, and had, for some reason lost to time, been cared for by the locals. A strange habit, to be sure, but also one which speaks to the local desire for remembrance. This small town, known as Mara Luar, in the past, it had been one of the furthest outposts of the Yinnick Empire, and had later on developed into a sort of Yinnick-Epednar hybrid town, in which the two groups lived a relatively peaceful life of coexistence, and at sometimes even cooperation. Mara Luar had, for a long time, been the Yinnick's way of tapping into the resources of the Expanse, and had been the center of trade for the Epednan Expanse. But the Epednar incursions into Yinnick lands under Hubaniak slowly forced most of the Yinnicks to relocate eastward, leaving only a token population behind. These survivors have, against all logic, attempted to keep the city as intact as possible, as if to cling to the past in hopes of restoring it one day. Yet this culture of remembrance and the worm just hit in the corner of the screen, right down here. Distracted me. Cling to the past in hopes of restoring it one day. Yet this culture of remembrance and preservation has given us a unique opportunity. We can study the history of the Yinnick and the so-called Yinnick-Epednar hybrid in great detail due to the many remnants of this once great town. We have already done extensive excavations, and some have laid bare very interesting facts about the region, which include the following. Before the modern Epednar population, there was the Yinnick, who controlled this area for at least 500 years. The Epednar have not always lived in these regions, but have slowly migrated into this region from elsewhere, with most academics agreeing on the Haraf theory of origin. Which, definitely true, because culture groups. The Haraf theory of origin, where are you? There it is. The Yinnicks, for reasons unknown, started the building of this town via a strict grid pattern, slowly abandoned it. This was possibly due to the increased need for housing during less safe periods. The Expanse used to be a lot greener, with lush grasslands interspersed with forest here and there. Some even speculate that the lower slopes of the Ekuyonimoi Mountains were once covered in forest, though we cannot say this for sure. The desertification of the Expanse was quite a rapid process, lasting only a few centuries at most. Lastly, we have been able to deduce 5 different cultural periods of the Expanse, with the help of clayworks and pottery, these being in chronological order: early Old Yinnick circle band pottery, late Old Yinnick /band pottery, early Eped Yinnick knife-edge pottery, early Epednar animal motif property, that says motive, it's supposed to be motif, pottery, and the current Epednar animal motif pottery, once again. These findings have all been written down by academics and students from the University of the Dame, and will be copied in both Common Tongue and in Yinnick and Epednari lingo to help the native population preserve history. Very cool. It's just fun little flavor text. It's, just somewhere over here, I guess. And we got another one. How the West was won. I want that province. It needs this province, the Lindens. Alright. Gotta keep reading, I guess. Day 157. It has been completed. After 150 days, starting on the 1st of Surin, 1691, Oh, that's kind of crazy. I don't think that's gonna change. I think I just happened to do this in the right year. I rode northward, and while I expected to remain rather lonely, I could not have suspected this. For weeks I had met not a single soul, not even an Epednar who was exiled from their tribe or a prospector looking for riches. Now, after 157 days, I have completed my trek from Hubi Boru to Fort Puhau, and we truly know how far the realm reaches. I now truly understand what expansive means, and why these lands are called wild, and how far the realm reaches. Arya of Songsbridge, who had undertaken this journey as part of her studies, had done what none had done before. She had crossed the entire expanse, from the southern desert up to Port Puhau in the north. She counted the days and even kept track of the distances she crossed each day to get a grasp on the true size of the Epednar Expanse. Her numbers tamed the once wild and unquantifiable West. The West was won, and it was Plumstead who got to enjoy the spoils. Very cool. So, production efficiency for 10 years, manpower recovery for 10 years, stab hit to declare war -1. Interesting. And we're going to have these provinces be Epednar. If we look here, yep, those are all Epednar now. Dustmen are gone. That's too bad for them. Blessed be the sons of the Dame, for they have proven to be the finest, first and foremost of the settlers realm of the Epednar. They have proven not only that there is merit in the tolerance and integration of the local populace, but that it is a necessity if one is to form a truly stable and prosperous society. The others fell either to our integrational embrace or to the vengeful armies of the Yin, forced to either bend the knee to the Ruinborn or leave these lands forever. Very cool. Yeah, very nice. What are next on these missions? Dark Side of the River, I need a fort on those 2 provinces. I can do that. Why am I not allowed to build a fort here? No idea. And I need one right here. I need 1 click. And then I'll be able to get a fort when I have money. Alright. That was a fun start. Bloodgroves, I don't care what you do. A rowdy bunch. Okay. Oh, okay. Fools. That is what they are. Fools. Governor Urthil cursed a whole dictionary before calming down and giving notice to the administrators and officers in his country. Or officers in his office. Round up each and every one of those youngsters and bring them to the fort immediately. We cannot let the tribes think that we pick one over the other, so do not fret to arrest any agitators who may try to take revenge on those youngsters. Mission in mind, the small task force set out. Their job was simple. Get the sacred ritual knife back and arrest the thieves before any fighting breaks out. And it seemed strange that some kids stealing an old buried knife from a different tribe could spark calls to war and the senseless spilling of blood. It did, however, not matter, for if they failed, more tribes might get involved in this feud. Arriving at the village, the locals already seem to know why the soldiers have come. One local points us to a tent where the youngsters have gathered, and just as the captain is about to enter, a man calls him. You have no business being here. This is a tribal affair, and you have no right to interfere, so leave. Shocked, the captain looks back to his tribal liaison, who remarks that he is right, that technically we have no right to interfere in tribal business. Some more tribal men from both tribes arrive at the scene with a very clear message. Do not interfere or pay the consequence. Not wanting his men to get hurt, the captain orders the soldiers to pack up again and prepare to leave, but not before witnessing the solution to the feud. The man who demanded the captain leave storms into the tent and comes out a few seconds later, dragging the oldest of the perpetrators with him. He throws the kid, who is no older than 16, to the ground, surrounded by men from the wrong tribe. They then, to the horror of the captain, proceed to beat the kid near to death, breaking perhaps a dozen bones and fracturing nearly every limb. This is no justice, the captain thinks to himself as they ride away in silence. For a while now, the rule of law which dominates Plumstead has clashed with the traditions of justice which rule the Epednar. Life is harsh on the steppes, and so is its sense of justice. Revenge, blood feuds, and deep-seated hatred are commonplace in the Expanse, and are now clashing with our own principles of justice and fair punishment. Okay, that's gonna be fun. That looks like all the Epednar provinces. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Okay. I think we might have a civil war coming. Anything in here? No? So, Dark Side of the River, I need those forts. Let's grab that other fort building. That one. I think it needed to be there. Yes. Okay. Eccentric Mines. Yeah, I'm really just stuck on those, huh? Okay. Deep Seer Meteorite. Alright, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Oh, we're gonna develop this province. Oh my goodness. Gonna do that, and you get to have a university. Oh, you get to have a university. That province is going to be developed. Bribes going more accepted, very cool. Yeah, you need that, fool. Uh-huh. Mage's cast spells is just now done. Darn. We have Obscure Tourism. I'll take the unrest, that's fine. Excess of the plums. Thank you for the money. Love seeing that. Mages need 15 influence. They don't have any influence. Well, darn. Let's grab that up while I have the money. Let's see. Lack of arm. Bleh. Gross. I'll take the professionalism down. Halfling's gift. I think I have halflings integrated, actually. Do I? Yeah. I'll take the cash. Yeah, it's a little more expensive now, but that's fine. I really do need to develop that area. Absent rectors. Okay, cool. That's fine. Talks through faith can go down or goes up. Nah. Academic clashing. Nothing but scraps to clean my bottoms. Nothing but rags to clean the arse of a donkey. Panavel shouted while holding up the works of her rival. Tilar, furious, ran up to her and pushed her to the ground. You are nothing but a thief and a scourge of science. A prime example of your tribe's traditions of debauchery, thievery, and indecency, he shouted. The two then proceeded to exchange fists until their own students dragged them apart, regardless of the threats of failing their classes if they did not release them. Both academics were afterwards taken away by campus security and transferred to the municipal police. What had happened was clear from the start. A minor academic dispute had become mixed with tribal animosity between two teachers, and resulted in open fighting and accusations. Panavel, who had, according to Taylor, stolen research papers about the evolution of a small collection of streams in the Epednar, and though it may seem foolish that two would fight over this, the result of Taylor's research was that the creek, which denoted the border between the two academics' respective tribes, had moved several hundred meters over its existence, and that a small burial mound of Panavel's tribe had been illegally built upon by the land of Taylor's tribe. Panavel claimed that this was falsified and had taken the research papers to perform a peer review, as she called it, though Taylor claimed it was nothing but theft in order to cover up the findings. The two continued to bicker from their cells to the point that two pickpockets requested transfer as the shouting match between them, because the shouting match gave them insufferable headaches. When Taylor and Panavel were released, the police warned them not to fight, and that the University of the Dame has now suspended both of them and retracted their research rights. The University of the Dame has also requested the government make a decision regarding the validity of the paper, as the research grant for it came from the Governmental Land Survey Bureau. Oh, that's gross. Ugh. We're gonna have a tribal war. Yeah, my Epednar provinces, that's gonna be a whole war. That's gonna be a whole thing. Okay. You get to be Horizon Elf. And you're Stutzman, you're fine. I just want a couple more Horizon Elf provinces. That should do for Horizon Elf. Okay. I believe it's this province. Yes, almost done. Yeah, do that. Grab me a workshop. You got a workshop. No, you don't. It's time to develop you. Let's grab what we can. Oh, is it time to start? Yes, Diplo Focus. I need that Diplo Focus. Oh my goodness. I know I got a couple more of these I need to build. Oh, this is going to be bad. I don't think I'm going to declare war for a while just because this is going to be really bad. 18. Yeah, taking that one. How much trade do I have here? 42. That is 40%. It's getting there. It is getting there. I think this might need to be a level 3 province. But developing takes a lot of effort. I don't have enough effort to spend on it. I want to get this games here. Alright. Hit that button. Runeborn. And let them in. Oh, now they're low enough. Okay, that's gonna be fun. You don't need that anymore. Alright, the rest of the Runeborn get to be nice to them. Making plenty of cash off this province. Love to see it. Runeborn, be nice. We've got a lot of cash. I do still want the rest of these. Alright. Archvale offers quarried stone. Yes, please. Give me that construction cost. In fact, everything that I just built. Except for that one. All of those. 1%. Take that off too. Yes. Cheaper construction, please. Okay. Debate match. Get him! Kick him in the groin! Pull his ears! The crowd went wild as two Epednar men fought, and it was not just men, but two representatives from the Epednar tribes. And while tribal rivalries are not uncommon at all, the relation between these two tribes has been tense as of late, after a wave of cattle thefts, for which both tribes blame each other. What happened was that during this government function, a banquet was held, and during the banquet, a large sculpture of a cow, filled with delicacies, and was wheeled in, after which one of the Epednar politicians remarked that he had found his rival's cow, to which the reaction was an Epednar flying across the table. The two fought, and while the guards were on their way, the crowd just cheered and stoked up the fight even more, as the function had been lacking entertainment anyways. The two were then taken away by the guards, and both tribes now demand a response from us. They both demand we punish the other side, as their honor has, in their eyes, been damaged. They're both wrong, and they both need to suck it up and stop being children. We're going to have an absolute civil war. This is going to be ridiculous. We're going to split you in half. And you may come over here. Do I have enough? I do not have enough leaders. That's what I figured. Runeborn, be nice. Should be integrated again. Yes, they are. Very cool. Alright, that one's done. Very cool. Next is going to be on this one. I gotta get that up to a level 3 province. Let's see, you have a university, you do not have a mage tower. I'll get you a mage tower when I can. It's because it's Resentur, I don't wanna deal with that. I'll take a Dustman one, that's fine. Let's grab you a mage tower first. Alright, you're next. Dark side of the river. The western bank of the Yin River is by many called the dark side of the river. Not because the land is gloomy or filled with monsters, but because there are not many large cities or settlements. As such, taking it should be a relatively easy task, as the lords of the Yin will not fight as hard for these regions as they would on the eastern bank. Let's take the western bank and enlighten these people. Very cool. More claims. Crossing the river. All of our eastward expansion has led to this moment. We control the river, 2 of its dams, and the lands that lie between. The lower Yin is now under the banner of Plumstead. From the crossing at Adrovdovi up to Vels Bakar, we rule and roam. Our new subjects integrated into our realm, their traditions and religion respected and accepted. We stand as the true and benevolent masters of Sarda. Very cool. Permanent claim on Sarda region, which I already own all of. Convincing the unconvinced, have propagate religion. Yep, that's what we need. And to do that, we need to have 50% trade power. And a merchant here, obviously. But 50% trade power we don't have quite yet. Alright, you... Okay. Alright, let's grab that up. I'm gonna want this leveled up eventually. I think that needs to be 25. 25, yeah. Let's grab that up to there. There we go. 25. I want you to have a soldier household. Yes, please. Core. Probably down there, I guess? I don't know. Coffee houses? Ooh, yes. Please, give me innovativeness. What are we at? 46. We're getting there. I want a chance at being a rector. That'd be pretty cool. Right, new army composition. I want small armies for siege stacking. What are you at? 627. 848. That looks good. 848. Type it right this time. Okay. You guys can be my deal with rebel stacks. That's what you're for. Rebel stacks and auxiliary. Huh? Oh, they're my ally. Oh, yeah, sure. Nationalist war. That's fun. I want to grab a lot of stuff over here. I want basically all the hinterlands here. And then the coastal states. That'll do. Let's grab a couple of transport ships, because I don't have transport ships yet. I don't think so, at least. No, we got enough. Of course. Very cool. Well, that'll be fun. We are fighting Decatur instead. So you're coming down this way. And we're going to grab you over here, too. That's all we'll send. Everyone else can drill. Everyone else is fine. And, well, can't upgrade that during war, so... Bullet-breaking barrels. Curses, another bullet. Alphonse pulled out the sack of plums from his wagon, and before he could even put it on the ground, it ripped, and plums filled with bullets plummeted to the ground. All the while, two magistrates watched the scene. One remarking that this had been the fifth merchant whose wares had been damaged by stray bullets. And these bullets did not come from a hunter lacking aim or from bandits who had hid it in for lowly merchants. They instead came from Epednar, who had been skirmishing with each other over tracts of land. Land through which many merchants traveled. Both tribes had been firing upon merchants, in most cases because they thought these merchants were from a rival tribe, or in other cases simply because they didn't want anybody on their land. And as the merchants and travelers complained, the local government is unsure what to do. The laws of tribal autonomy forbid government from interfering in tribal affairs, yet this affair is hurting non-Epednar and the local trade. So, not sure what to do, they petitioned the high courts to make the decision whether they are given permission to make arrests or to guard the caravans and be allowed to shoot back if they are attacked. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Do I have any forts on Epednar land? I have that one. Yeah, I think that's the only fort I have on Epednar land. Besides this one. That's different. Yeah, that's the only fort I have on Epednar land. That'll be annoying. Go for that. You have a good job over there. You can help go siege. And in fact, that's fine. Let's see. guess we'll have to save up for that then, huh? Alright, we got Horizon Elves around. Very nice. I'd like to have, like, a section of Horizon Elf land, you know? This one, I would like that to be Halfling. Simply because it's part of that territory. Do you no longer need that on? Ah, Force Rebellion Debate. We're not going to read that. You can read it yourself if you want. I believe we're still in the Erudite faction. Yes. Which will give us, yeah, can I switch to Zealot faction? Thanks. I definitely want that better. Okay. Let us advance. Yeah, I don't care what you do. Oh, they managed to grab it. Okay. Let's grab Malik Northon. Oh, I don't have any claims on them. Of course not. Of course not. Okay. You two are coming over here. We're gonna do a fun little attack. Let's go kill them. Give me some participation, please. Because our participation's not that high right now. Let's get them. Yay! Good fight. Good fight. That'll bump that participation up. A little bit. A little bit. As far as we go. As far as we go. An army of contempt. Must I remind you all that I, Drill Sergeant Warrior of the Heart, am in charge of this godforsaken and fecal-filled hole you call home? Must I remind you, twinkle-toed, sad excuses of cannon fodder, that you only speak when spoken to, and the first and last words out of your filthy mouths, filthy sewers, will be, "Sir"? Do you maggots understand that? A deafening silence followed. Even Sergeant Warrior of the Heart, who had in his long service dealt with a myriad of disobedient soldiers, could not believe what he saw. These men, who were supposed to obey each and every order, did not move a muscle. Then all of a sudden, one soldier, from somewhere in the back row sneers, "Is that you, Wind Screamer? Is this me?" Furious, Warrior of the Heart tries to single out the perpetrator, yet fails. He then walks off to the staff building to get help from his staff officer. Why are they disobeying each and every order they are given? Have they gotten manure up their ears? The staff officer, looking up from his desk, sighed and explained, "You're part of the Yelling into the Wind tribe, right? Well, all these lads are water drinkers, and considering the skirmishes that went on the last few weeks between your two tribes, many think that you are not worth obeying." His face getting pale, Warrior of the Heart asked the staff officer, a human, to order the troops to their barracks and to have the latrines and stables scrubbed as punishment for their disobedience. Defeated, he writes a report of what occurred. Yet he knows that the central government cannot do much about it. Just put the file on the bottom of the desk and be done with it. Okay. So, with that situation slowly spiraling out of hand, we're going to end the episode here. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time.